It's time for another ridiculously complicated, historically inaccurate women scientist craft project! I've actually been thinking about this one for a couple of months, and now I'm finally sitting down to work on it. When my parents used up the last of their dinosaur-themed wellies, the Band-Aid brand, and I saw this container and was like, I could do something with that. It's got dinosaurs on it. So, for whatever reason, my immediate thought was Jurassic Park Polly Pocket, but also make it women scientists. So, women scientist fossil gals Polly Pocket? Yes. So, let's talk about inspiration, and then we'll get into the design for a second. So, a couple years ago for Christmas, my parents gifted me this Harry Potter Polly Pocket compact, and honestly, I hadn't thought about Polly Pocket since I was, like, a small child. I'm pretty sure I had, like, a killer whale dolphin trainer Polly Pocket that I used to play with in the bathtub. That sounds right. I actually don't even know if it was Polly Pocket. We're gonna pretend it was. So I had not really seen these compacts or was familiar because I don't remember them from the 90s because I wasn't that old. And when I opened this up, I was just so impressed with the amount of detail inside of it. So let's take a look. So when you open it up, we have like the Great Hall, and we have like another, like the little places where they could eat. And then we even have like this fold-out train track situation with a train in this fold-out, which I think is meant to be like a boat dock, because here's like the canoe they would have traveled to Hogwarts on. There's Ron and Hermione and Dumbledore and Harry and McGonagall. And there's even like a little cart with luggage, focus, and an owl. And the best part is like you can like, there's a sorting hat. You could like, they all have little round pegs, so you could put them on here. The stuff you could take off, so I could take off this little cup, move it to this peg. Like, there's a seat for them right here. The little luggage carts come off. I can move the owl to, like, up here. I don't know. Just, like, I was so impressed with the amount of detail, and I just want to try my best to incorporate that into my Fossil Gals Polly Pocket. I might come up with a better name by the end of this video. We'll find out. I'll do my best. So, let's talk design now that we have inspiration. And again, forgive the drawings. I can't draw to save my life. It'll look better in 3D, I promise. So we have like, oh geez, can't even draw a square. So we have, this would be the top, and I want to do like a backdrop of some sort. I'm going to feature 3 different scientists. So I want to feature Sue Hendrickson, Mary Onning, and then Mignon, whose last name I have already forgotten because I just learned about her this morning. And I don't even know if that's how you say it. Mignon Talbot. I don't know if that's how you say it, but that's how you spell it. And these two are a little bit older. She is still alive, and I'm going to pretend like Sue has summoned the spirit of Mary Onning and Mignon Talbot to come help her with her discovery, because Sue Hendrickson is the one who discovered Sue the T-Rex in the Chicago Field Museum, which is one of the best preserved T-Rex specimens today. So this backdrop is going to be the South Dakota area where Sue the T-Rex was discovered. And I'm thinking maybe I'll put in like these little hooks or pegs or something to hold the characters. And now let's talk about the actual like scene. So I'm thinking I want to build up a rock formation and then actually have like dinosaur bones embedded. But then I really loved the removability of the Polly Pocket situation, so like removable somehow. We'll find out. And then we're gonna have a little tent site for them and probably a little campfire. And the Polly Pocket had so many accessories, so I'm just trying to pack it full of themed accessories as I can. Yeah, so this is a terrible drawing. I deeply apologize. I can't wait to see how it turns out. It's gonna turn out better than this. I have absolutely no idea how I'm going to start building this. Probably going to 3D print the figurines. I'm thinking maybe clay sculpting the cliffs and stuff like that, and probably 3D print the bones. I don't know, but we're about to find out. Let's get started. So I started with the backdrop. I just basically printed out a picture of the South Dakota Badlands, traced it using the tin lid, and then cut it out. Had to trim it down a little bit more than the trace was, just so it actually fit in within the lid, and then just kind of glued it in there. That was honestly the easiest part of the process. Okay, so I put together some air dry clay, which still feels quite crumbly, so I'm just gonna randomly mix some glue with it, and it's time, I think, to sculpt. I think that's what I'm gonna use to sculpt the backdrop of this. I honestly don't know what I'm doing. If we are being absolute for realsies here, I'm just kind of winging it. And the chances are that I have to rip all of this out in a couple of days because it sucks or because I changed my mind. High chance. Okay, so I kind of wanted, oh, there we go, it's helping it stay together, and hopefully it'll help it stick in the tin. So I need like a ground, and I need crusty rock formations, and I need a tent, like a camping site, per my terrible sketch. Okay, so we're just gonna like mush that out, I think. I'm hoping that also some of the crumbly texture will kind of be useful in making it more like rocky. And I'll probably have to make some more of this later. It's baking soda and cornstarch and water. So I ran out of baking soda. Which actually is a travesty in my house. I use baking soda all the time. Okay, that feels like a nice ground. And then maybe campsites like over here. And we'll start to build up some craggly rocks on the other side. I also don't want to like build them up too much because I really do want to try to get some rocks that will be like kind of removable so you can actually take out like embedded fossils. I think that would be super fun. Also, it goes without saying, obviously, all of this is going to be painted at the end. Because right now it's just white. And this is not the Arctic tundra. Rather my crumbly crumblies. Scale is about to be a suggestion. Scale is about to be a suggestion. And guess who's back? Not 5 hours later with a complete redesign. So I decided that upon thinking about it, I don't like the way we're going right now. I think I'm thinking too diorama, too static, too realistic, when boy, this should be stylized. This should be plastic in the best possible way. Any other way of plastic is disgusting. This should be Polly Pocket. So here's my top-down view, an even worse sketch. But I want to put in a little base plate that's got the divots and pegs so I can move stuff around. I want to build my little rock pile that is gonna be fossils and rocks, and hopefully they all stack together. Got tents, and you know what? I want to throw in a freaking Jeep. Because Marioning, I think, would just freaking love a Jeep. So I'm gonna tear all this out and get started on that new plan. So after I tore it out, I started working on the back plate, which involved me tracing, again, the lid and trimming the piece of paper until it fit, and then putting it in my flatbed scanner, scanning it, importing it into Adobe, image tracing it, exporting it as an SVG, because guess who can open SVG files? Tinkercad can open SVG files, and then I turned it into a 3D object, and then basically test printed it out, and I had to go through several of these plates until I finally made one at the right scale that fit. Okay, so I'm in a little bit of a, 3D printer backup. I'm currently waiting for the bottom plate to print, or at least the tester bottom plate to print. So I can't really do anything else because everything else I want it to be 3D printed. Which means, in the meantime, we can work on some of our character files. So I will be using the same thing I used for my book nooks, which is called Meshy AI. I don't really like using AI, but I don't know how to 3D model, and at the very least, this is like my idea, and I'm using AI as a tool versus being like, AI, make this entire thing for me. Like, I have exactly what I want in my head that I can describe to it, and it will do it. But this is actually really freaking cool, and I've been using this for like probably 2 years now, and the amount it's changed is absolutely crazy. So let me go ahead and hit screen record here. So I went ahead and basically they have this new thing called like the agent, and you can actually like upload a photo and then ask it to do something. So I uploaded a photo of Ming Talbot and said turn her into a 90s style Polly Pocket kind of thing. So then it started to create basically these images for me. So I started with this one. I was like, okay, that's cute. But then I realized I had actually already made my Marianing one when I was playing around with it. And so I'm like, I like this, but she's not exactly the same. So then I had a chat with it of being like, hey, I want it to match Marianing. And this is how Marianing turned out, who's absolutely freaking adorable. And it was like, okay, I can do that. So then it made this next image right here. I was like, okay, cool, but the hair is not quite right. So I fixed the hair and made her just a little bit slimmer because I feel like Marianing is not quite as chunky as it was making, what's her face? Mignon Talbot. I can't remember this girl's name. And then I went, thank you, make her a little, where is it? Make her a little bit slimmer, fix the hair. And then I said, beautiful, turn her into a 3D file. And then that's the 3D file I came up with, and then I went, okay, let's export it as an STL. And then, boom! I was able to import her into my Bamboo Studio, and she's all ready to be printed. Whenever I got space in my 3D printer to work. So, I actually have already printed a test Marianing, and look at her. She is the freaking, she's so tiny. This is about how big I want them to be. Will it even focus on her? Look. Look. Focus. Tiny. And then if you think that's tiny, this is the little dog printed. I'm actually going to make the little dog a little bit bigger. But that's where we're starting. I'm going to do the same thing to Sue Hendrickson. And then we will just wait for the 3D printer to do its thing. All right, a couple days later, and I think I actually have everything 3D printed and ready to go. Well, I'm fixing a few things with some super glue, but here we are. Let's take a look. Okay, so T-Rex skeleton model. There's where I'm gluing that together. The Jeeps, the rock formations, some additional bones, the little doggy, and our stars. So we got from left to right, Sue Hendrickson, Mary Awning, and Mignon Talbot. And then I managed to actually get this, put in some divots, and I managed to get a correct fitting peg. That is mostly the last thing I'll have to do at the very end. It's looking really cute. I'm very enthused with how it's currently going. I also ended up printing like a little bit bigger Marianing, and I freaking am in love with her. I may have to make like a full-size doll out of this. I don't know. Anyway, so it's time for the actual fun part, painting everything. Yeah, I don't know. Ran out of words. Very excited to paint. I'm gonna go paint now. Introducing the new Paleontology Polly Pocket! Woohoo! Full of so much dinosaur fun and women madness because it's Polly Pocket, so it's gotta be women, not men. Am I right? Featuring not one, not two, but three women scientists, Mary Awning, Mignon Talbot, and Sue Hendrickson, full of hours of play, dig up your own dinosaur bones, camp out, pet the dog, build a museum specimen worthy enough to be in the Chicago Field Museum. It's all pretty fun. Maybe even accidentally tear somebody's legs off in the process. Who knows? Fun for children of all ages, which includes adults, because adults deserve to be children too. And guess what? There's even a freaking Jeep, because I know that those gals that lived in the 1800s, they would have wanted a Jeep. So, buy yours today at Nowhereville, because this product doesn't actually exist in real life. Thanks for watching. And that is a wrap on Paleontologist Polly Pocket, or Margaret and my, I don't know what I'm named for. I don't know why I said Margaret. What's Polly even short for? Is it just still Polly? I don't know. Anyway, and that's a wrap on our Paleontologist Small Child's Toy. I am absolutely thrilled with the way it turned out, even though, like, I clearly just accidentally bisected Sue Hendrickson in the process. I glue it back together. Her legs were very skinny. And I think I lost the peg on Mary Awning. But despite all of that, look at how freaking cute this Jeep turned out. I freaking love this thing. It looks so gosh darn cute. It turned out exactly how I wanted to. Actually, probably even better. Remember? This is the sketch we started out with. Look, so wait, that's upside down. This is the sketch we started out with. So, oh, and I just have to look at how freaking cute that was. Anyway. My mother, who is my partner in crime on most things women scientist, kept sending me more Band-Aid packages that would be perfect for other women scientist Polly Pockets, so maybe you'll see more of this in the future. If you're really liking this like I do, comment below that you really like it and want to see more. And even if you don't, I'll probably still do it because I had a blast making it. It was super fun, and I think you will see this little girl in the future again. Oh, speaking of which, here's this like 2-inch tall one I made to try to get a bigger dog. Yeah, you'll see her again. And probably some other women scientist doll-esque things because I just really like dolls, and now I figured out a way to make women scientist ones. So, anyway, this is getting really long. Suffice it to say, this is freaking adorable. I'm obsessed. Thank you all for joining me in this weird journey of Sue Hendrickson conspiring with the spirits of Mary Awning and Mignon Talbot, 2 superstars in the paleontology world, to help her with the greatest find of Sue, the T-Rex, one of the most complete T-Rex skeletons discovered. And then don't forget I made this little background. Not that it really has any place to like prop up, but it was really cute. And if anybody missed my announcement on Instagram, I've discovered, whatever. This year's Halloween costume is going to be Mary Awning because my husband pointed out that Mary Awning's little dog, whose name I cannot remember off the top of my head, looks a lot like Snoopy. So if I got the dog, might as well do the costume, right? Anyway, that was fun. Great project. Thank you all for watching. If you guys want to support my channel even further and these various shenanigans, consider donating to my Buy Me a Coffee page. Like this video, subscribe to my channel, tell your friends all about it, comment below what you think about the project. And as always, keep it sciencey!